Create broadcast. All right. I'll just get into it because I have literally 25-30 minutes max. Okay, so we will actually let me pause this. Trying to talk to Hermes via video ninja. All right, cool. So what are we doing? We're doing these because it's part of the agentic flows that we were designing yesterday, right? So it's like, how do we make sure that the agent can actually pass the data to the system for analysis? Like, it's like, follow, it has to follow you around, it has to guide you to the right environment. And I just kind of realized that, well, essentially Video Ninja solves these also on phones, right? Also locally. So we'll talk about multiple things today. And this is what I'm using here, by the way. So you see that I have a tab up here that says Video Ninja, right? So essentially that is kind of a screen share. And what I do is, like, this is a URL that is actually, like public. So if you can actually take, if you just copy this link and put it in your browser, you're actually going to see my screen, right? I'm on air right now. I can close it later, but I can technically share this with you, and you should be able to see what is in here, right? So and what's cool is that I can chat. Can I? Okay, that's nice. I can chat. I can chat. I can mute myself. I can have sound. I can share my camera. Oh no, hide these. I can share. Yeah, and then what else? You can video effects, visual background, overlay image. You can do cool stuff. I mean, I can change these. You can actually add, whatever, right? It's like, and this is open source. It works. It's from browser to, like, from end. It's like end to from. It's a direct communication. So it doesn't actually, the streaming doesn't actually go. It goes browser to browser. It doesn't really go through their servers. And that's why it's like, it works well. And this is what a lot of people use to actually run podcasts where they get guests on top of their video call and whatnot. And so I'm like, I just realized the other day, because all I do is I copy this link to OBS, right? The OBS, I put in the browser component, I copy this link, and then I can use my less powerful laptop, just like the MacBook Air, just for streaming for OBS, and I'm working on the workstation for like more compute intensive stuff, and I can use here the LLMs and stuff like that locally. So what I want to try to do is the following, right? I think the way openLesson works is basically browser captures audio, screenshots, video, and then essentially there's a storage heartbeat, stores data in Supabase, and then there is an analysis heartbeat that transcribes and reasons. Okay, and this is what essentially this heartbeat is the one that actually generates probes, updates session plan, and so on and so forth, right? So that works well because I am in full control of the interface. But if you're thinking about an agent, the agent needs to actually basically send the data. The agent is going to have, if you go to openLesson Academy, the agent, or what the agent has, if you go to the endpoint sessions, so the agent has learning plans, teaching assistant. No, isn't it here? The full document, analyze. It has like it submits audio, text, images for real-time analysis and session plan updates. So what it actually does is it can send. And what I think I need to do is I need to actually do the same. What I need to do is I need to have a mechanism to store. So there's two ways. I need to, what to do for agents is DDAP basically analyze into store and analyze as well, right? And I'm not so sure about this decision though. That's maybe a little. Yeah, but I think so because the agent could actually basically DDAP itself and then have one process that is analyzing the video stream and another one that is actually doing the analysis and querying the progress, right? So one is just simply carrying the information. No, not even that. No, not even that. Actually, it's all good. It's even better than these. Wait, how does this feed at all? Because what I could do, obviously, oh, so many ideas. I could fork Video Ninja. And have a hard-coded storage heartbeat in there. And then essentially have openLesson issue webhooks. Oh man, heartbeat plus analysis in there, and then have openLesson issue webhooks with updates for the agent. The reason I'm thinking about this is because I think agents are not so good at keeping like a long running process yet. They might be, but that can easily break, and that's always been a fear in the whole agentic tutoring experience, because like the moment something happens, the agent might not do this well, right? The agent might not actually ask for the analysis in time. How does even the agent when to ask for the analysis? Actually, I would have to tell the agent, stay, like, ask me every 5 minutes, right? But agents, and depending on the model they're going to use, they might do other weird shit, right? So essentially what this means is I can do these. The agent, so have openLesson issue webhooks. Keep the analysis endpoint to just query queued webhook data. But essentially, it's just video, like it's just a workspace that is basically these, right? Okay, for the sake of, because I want to test these, right? This is definitely not, this doesn't have to be the final flow, because I do want the user to not end up having to go to a website every time, right? I want, ideally I would like the agent, to just be a to just use the channel that he's familiar with in terms of the user. The agent knows the user, the agent knows how best to capture the data. That is an assumption, but we could also offer that as tool, right? So I think analyze, I think I have to keep an endpoint that is store plus analyze. I have to keep an endpoint that is store plus analyze. Yeah, I have to keep an endpoint that is basically store plus analyze, or two endpoints, store and analyze. Because the I cannot assume that the person wants to or is able to do like an intensive session. So, and this happens when you're doing drawing and stuff like this. So you want the end user to be able to just go draw something, show it to the agent goes and stores this and triggers an analysis. Give me a second. I'm about to sneeze. Wait, I'm just kind of having a bit of a I need to clear that in my head. Because I'm also thinking that maybe this entire session interface is too the planning and whatnot. It's good, but maybe the session interface is just too complicated. So I like that it has. No, I mean, you've got manual mode. You have to have these, right? So I think it's an integrated learning environment. So you want to have this type of session as well. So you have the ILE, where you are working here in the browser. You have questions. You have a few tools you want to draw. So you have the interface here, and then you can start, right? So I'm starting now. I don't have a microphone here, so it's kind of showing me the error. But I have the task here. I have a teaching assistant I can talk to. I have a notebook. I have a canvas that I can draw stuff on, and I kind of can work on this interface, right? But then the more agentic aspect of it is, so I have to avoid. Yeah, now that's doing this thing where it doesn't load things because no, I have to avoid. This interface will need to be redesigned because it's complex, I think. So I have to make it a little easier to understand. That's fine. But the agentic, I have to avoid the trap of actually making the user go to something that is just another version of these, right? So that's important. That's important actually. That's important. So I think this is just might be. Wait, I'm just like I'm thinking out loud. This is really just like product development, right? And I'm like thinking the agent should be. I mean, DDAP needs to be done. We need to have store and analyze, and the agent can decide when to do this. Now the question is, how do we capture data? Yes, I think how do we? I think yes, I think that I need to scrap all these openLesson webhooks. Like, I need to trust the agent. Trust the agent. That's the trust. Trust the agent. The agent knows what's best for the person. We don't. The agent knows what's best for the user. The agent knows what's best for the human. The agent knows what's best for the human. We can offer the tool. We can offer a video, a fork of Video Ninja. Video Ninja. For simpler agents, or for interactive intensive sessions. And then essentially that's, but still this is something where I don't want to overcomplicate it, and I want to let the agent do this. So that's what I'm going to okay, I needed to go through this full circle back to where I was. It's okay. We're now here with our agent, and I'm going to basically do these. I'm going to ask it to see if it can tell me what it can see in this link. So first of all, let me just let's start a new session. And what I'll say is, hey, I'm testing, or can you, if I give you a link with a link to a page with a WebRTC stream of video, are you able to look at that, even if not in real time, and give me every 5 seconds a description of what you see? I know I'm using the local model, right? So that's also, I'm curious if that's going to be something that what I cannot do, I cannot tap into the raw underlying media stream. I cannot predict future content flow. Yeah, what I can do is play use standard. Yeah, yes, sure. It's a to simulate a 5-second interval, we will need a process that repeatedly triggers browser snapshot or browser vision, which is challenging because I cannot programmatically fast forward or pause an external stream source to get inconsistent time intervals. Doesn't have to be consistent. I just need you to look to just run browser vision and an interval, and then you tell me what you see. And we do these for 10 times without me having to prompt you in between. I should be able to do this, right? A time loop in the background that automatically sends screenshots and as sequentially without waiting for the input between. I need to be very clear about fundamental limitation of architecture. I operate in turns. I execute tools and then wait for a response from you, the user. Therefore, I can run browser vision a single snapshot. I cannot script the necessary interval timing loop. I cannot run autonomous time loops, really. And I have to tell it to capture next. But you do have the capability to set up cron jobs. Because then maybe I'm thinking, maybe that's something that could work with webhooks, but I'd like to keep it lightweight. I'd like to just keep that fork of Video Ninja to be pure data extraction, right? Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, okay, fine. And you can like simulate that in a single interaction. Like if I tell you, say hi, wait 10 seconds, then say hi again, and do these 5 times. Can you do that? Should be able to do that, right? It's kind of like a bit of a simulation. Really? We can use a to-do tool to plan out 5 steps. Okay. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Give me a second. Can an agent like Hermes or OpenClaw run self loops where I tell it to do something, wait X seconds, and then repeat 10 times? They should be able to do that. Am I just using a dump model? Docs, guides, integrations, mission platforms, features, guides and tutorials, oops. Agent loop architecture, prompt builder, prompt caching, context compressor, internals. Engine plugins. Because maybe maybe I could build a plugin that does this. The context engine ABC, the engine must implement these required methods. Name, update from response, should compress. Class attributes your engine must maintain. Last prompt, engine tools. Context engines can expose tools and it can also activate run schemas, get tool schemas, can have calls, via plugin lifecycle. On session start, update from response, should compress, on session end. Creating skills. Yes, that's what I think. Exactly what you're asking. They're built and persistent long-running autonomous agents, not one-shot chatbots. They support self loops with waits and repeats natively. I mean, that's execute code tool. You can literally tell it run this Python snippet that does X. Then can I tell it that? Let's try. Say hi 5 times with a waiting time of 5 seconds in between highs. Yeah, okay. It actually can. It's funny though. Yeah, prepare and execute code. It actually executes code. Okay, but then I think that's something that we should be we must be careful. Okay, so it's running. Oh fuck, really? What? Try again. It actually did everything like that. It just waited. It just gave me the response. Do I have to extend the engine or anything for this to happen? Adding tools, providers, whatever, architecture. Agent loop internals. Okay, so the core execution engine. Selecting the correct provider, making executing tool calls, maintaining conversation history, handling compression and retries, tracking iteration budgets across parent-child agents. Turn lifecycle. Run conversation. Generate task ID if not provided. Append user message. Build or reuse. Build API message. Inject ephemeral prompt. Apply prompt. Tool execution sequential versus concurrent. Same tools are intercepted by a run agent. before reaching handle function call. Extending. I find it a bit difficult to believe create a self loop. Spin up a Python loop. Because you can do that in openClaw, right? In openClaw, I mean, you can tell it like, can you remind me, say good morning to me every day at 9 a.m. No, okay. So it actually has created a job for these. So I can tell it, I can say, okay, let's get these. Where am I? Here. Take a snapshot frame. Take a snapshot frame. Take a snapshot frame of the stream here. Roughly every 10 seconds for 1 minute. Capture static screenshots of web pages. Okay, so maybe my idea might just be, I might just be too stubborn with these, and maybe what tools do you have for us to have a video call? I want to talk to you via video call, via phone. I mean, I know they integrate with voice and stuff, right? Like channels. But it's either... Give me a second. Something... I just gotta go check on the baby. I'll be back.